It's live. I'm your host, Sean Walchef. We are live on YouTube, live on LinkedIn. This is our community space. Today we are talking about YouTube for business in 2025. We want you to join us up on stage. If you're in the waiting room, our producers, our team will get you there. This community chat, this digital hospitality space started on the social audio app Clubhouse during the pandemic. We wanted to have our team calls, our media team calls. We added a media company on top of our restaurant business, and we thought, why don't we just do social audio and build in public? That eventually evolved to LinkedIn audio. LinkedIn audio is now going away, so we are live streaming on multiple platforms, and we hope that you, the audience, join us. We're really excited about today's topic. We believe deeply in this digital hospitality community space. Every Wednesday, every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, we will be live streaming 1 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. London time, wherever you are in the world. We believe that every business needs to be digital first, especially brick and mortar businesses. And we also believe that every business is in the hospitality business, whether you know it or not. Really excited about today's discussion because we get to build in public. We get to bring one of our new hires, Cam. He is part of our Cali Barbecue Media team. He is a YouTube expert, and he was actually recommended through this community. So if you want to know what's the ROI, what's the return on investment for doing content, for putting your truth onto the internet, on YouTube, on podcasts, it's that you get to recruit the top talent on earth. Cam has been working for us, I believe, for about 2 months now. But Cam, welcome to the show. Take 60 seconds. Let everyone know, who are you and what do you believe in?
Hello, how's everyone doing? I'm Cam.
Doing great.
That's great. I'm a YouTube expert, I guess, as Sean said it right there. I've been working on producing YouTube content for a business previously, a business that I was connected to very closely as it was with my mother. We built a channel together around gardening because she is a world-class horticultural expert. We built a channel up from 0 to 30,000 subscribers. It's doing very well to this day. And recently I have branched out and started producing content for other people as well, like Cali Barbecue, as we're talking now. So yeah, it's been a wild journey, and I believe essentially that every business could have a very successful YouTube channel. Every founder could be a very successful YouTube personality. You just got to find the sort of content that will speak to people and connect with people and make it consistently, like Sean's always talking about, consistency, quality over time. That's what you should do to get successful on YouTube.
So bring us into the story, Cam. I need to hear, how did the conversation with your mother go for her launching her YouTube channel?
The weird thing about that is we started in 2014. So
wow,
really,
early.
Yeah, we really got on early. Yeah. So
now
we made
was it you pitching her or her pitching you?
Very much I pitched her. I was like 20, I think, when I first asked her if we wanted to do something like this, because YouTube had just blown up. Like, it was back when it was becoming like culturally relevant. I would say it was 2014 is probably the start of when that becomes the case. And I was like, oh, we should try making some videos as, like to advertise your horticultural business. So we made 4 videos. They were terrible, I'll be honest. We made them in Windows Movie. I edited them in Windows Movie Maker, not knowing how to edit videos. It was just an idea that I had because she was doing loads of gardening. She goes to clubs, gardening clubs, and talks. I was like, you're really good at this. Let's put this on video. We have plants. You can pick up plants and talk about them. So we should do this. And that was in 2014. We put the videos up and basically forgot about them. They were just kind of there in the background. And then 6 years later, you look at YouTube, and over time, videos can, pick up and balloon, as many people are aware. And one of our videos had like 40,000 views from a terrible movie maker production that we did with no good audio. The audio is bad. I could send you the video. Like, the audio, there's no mic. It's just off of a phone, like a phone from 2014. But yeah, people loved it. People loved not the production, but they loved her as a YouTube personality, I guess, as like someone who was talking about, and they loved the topic that we talked about. We picked a really good topic. We had really good like in-person, because looking at plants in person, it's very real. Like, it's not really like, kind of faked content or anything. So we thought we could do this, and we could do more of this. And COVID was happening in 2020, as everyone probably remembers. So I didn't really have a lot to do. So we just started producing loads and loads of videos, putting out more like 2 a week during COVID. So we're trying to ride that wave and that momentum early on. And then
so the channel's Rosy Hardy Gardening, ROSY Hardy Gardening. Your mom is fantastic. Like I showed the YouTube channel to my wife, and she's absolutely in love. I mean, my wife loves plants, and I know Kyle Fluger on our team is huge into plants. But can you share a little bit about your mom going on camera? Like, how did she evolve? How did she become better on YouTube specifically?
Yeah, it was over time and with practice, but she also had me like producing her. I think I've always been keen. I watch YouTube more than anything else. I don't really watch television. I watch movies, and like I'll occasionally watch TV shows on like Netflix, etc. But for the last 6 years, I've just binged YouTube as like my main source of media. So I was producing her to be like other people I had seen potentially on YouTube. So it was taking her very real in-person ability to present and to talk about things and to educate. She's a very good educator. And it was just about taking that from the in-person perspective and how does that translate and how can we produce that. And yeah, it does come, there is a certain amount of coaching that you can have from outside sources, but then you also you naturally start to get it as well. I think you get comfortable on camera, and if anyone wants to do YouTube, I would tell them to start immediately. And like as you say, like learn to you're going to be embarrassed about yourself, you're going to cringe, you're going to feel like a bit weird, but as you get on camera, every single time you're on camera you get better. Like you get better, you get better, you get better. Like you yourself are very good on camera, Sean, and I imagine if we try.
I was not.
Yeah.
I posted I just posted on LinkedIn our toast unboxing video with my general manager Eric, and just looking back, and that's only 4 years ago. I mean, we've been doing videos since probably 2017, 2018. Really started going heavy once Reels came out, and we've been producing video content across multiple platforms. But for those that are new to this audience, if you're listening on Digital Hospitality on the podcast feed, if you're watching on the YouTube page, we couldn't be more excited. We believe that we are building YouTube first as a media company. I talk about YouTube all the time. I actually reached out to our community and asked if anyone knew any YouTube experts. Can you share the story of Richard Liverman, who is part of our Rising Tide community? He says that your mother nearly fired you. Nearly fired him. I'm sorry, not you.
Nearly fired him. No.
Yes.
She can't fire me.
She can't fire you.
Yeah. No, I think Richard started working when he was a teenager with my parents in their business, and I think he was a typical teenager, I think is the way he would describe it. So you got the typical teenager. So she basically was, he was not meeting the standards. I'm sure you've hired teenagers or something in the past, and you've had to like set them straight in the restaurant business and everything. I think it was the same for Rich. He had to learn what it was to have a job and to have these just to show up and do the work. And you learn that young. If he wasn't fired, he did okay.
That's awesome.
I know. I was very young when this happened though. But he's now my greatest. You talked about, we did a video, it hasn't come out yet, but we talked about how PR is dead and or traditional PR is dead. But Rich has been my biggest PR department for the last like 6 months or so. He just goes around telling everyone. I've got a meeting with someone, I think he comes on this, Scott. He wants me to have a chat with Scott and talk about some strategy with him, just to have a conversation and like tell people, like spread the message of like how to do YouTube. So yeah, Rich has become my PR department, which is great. Just telling people. I think it's good though. We're spreading the right messages. This whole community spreads the right messages around for everyone to succeed.
So for the business owners that are listening, we have lots of content creators, business owners that are willing to look stupid, sound stupid, publish the video, get a little bit better, do it on Instagram, do it on TikTok. YouTube's a little bit different. Can you talk a little bit about the nuances of YouTube versus other social media platforms?
Yeah, I think YouTube has a very specific playbook almost. Like I feel like it's something where you have to come in and start to understand the culture. You have and if you don't understand the culture of YouTube, it can be quite a rude awakening to try and get yourself more eyeballs, to try and get more like on the platform. Because a lot of people, I think they build their platforms with external views. They build their platform by bringing their audiences over to YouTube. But to build an audience on YouTube itself, there's an understanding of like what topics will do well. How do I have to set up my content in a way to keep attention? Because it's a very competitive platform. So that I think there's a bit of a learning curve with YouTube. in the way, not that there isn't with other platforms, but I think when it comes to cross posting, it's sometimes easier to cross post between like TikTok and Instagram than it is to cross post into like long form YouTube, which is like almost like a different, like building long form content versus short form content. They're almost completely different worlds at times. I'm a big believer in long form. Like I'm a big believer in having these, like having the having the horizontal videos, having the everything like over 5 minutes, over 10 minutes, into 20-minute videos, into the hour-long interviews. Like look at the podcast, like Rogan puts up like 3-hour podcasts all the time. Like all the other big podcasts, they go like 3 hours a lot of the time. So I'm such a big believer in that space on YouTube. And it just has a slightly different playbook to some of the other platforms in terms of how you build audiences and get eyeballs on there.
That's amazing. So we're going to bring some of our digital hospitality leaders up here on stage. If you guys have been patiently waiting, we appreciate it. This is a different format for our live streaming show versus our audio only. So Elizabeth, welcome. Can you take 60 seconds, let the community and those listening know who you are and what you believe in? Go for it.
Yeah, sure. I'm not sure if my microphone, I'm having a lot of
You're
trouble.
good.
If anybody else is having issues with connecting mics and headsets, just know that that's happening. So anyway, also, if anybody can jump on your phone over on LinkedIn and just hit, go to search the Cali Barbecue Media page and hit the repost button. You don't have to add any thoughts or ideas, but if you just hit repost, it'll reboost it to everybody else's feed, which would be amazing. So if you guys are on your desktop, you can jump on your phone and do that. That would be great. My name is Elizabeth Doss. I am motion graphic designer. I play in all things animated GIFs, and I love helping brands and businesses harness that weird little corner of the internet where they can have things to react with, but also that their community can start using their GIFs to post and to share kind of that brand attention that you can get. And so that is what today I am still working with the Burnt Chef project in the UK, and their Giphy account is live, and we're going to start to upload a lot of those GIFs that the hospitality community can use to help each other, especially those struggling with mental health issues, and just little touch points of encouragement that you can text or DM on social in animated GIF form. So anyway, I'll hand things back to you, Sean.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Elizabeth. Richard Liverman, mic is yours, my friend. 60 seconds.
Thank you for having me. I'm Richard. I'm in the UK.
Hold on, Richard. I have a question for you. What in the world is Wahey? Wahey. Wahey.
Wahey?
Way.
Oh, it's. I'm going to defer this one to Cameron because some of his family, some of the his mum's side of the family are from Newcastle, which is the northeast or that part of the world, and Wahey man is, I think, a greeting from Newcastle. Cam, would you agree with that?
Is that always like Hawaii? There's a few. Yeah, my family's from all over the place, so some of the older ways of saying it was meant to be like, it's kind of like yippee or like hooray.
It's hooray.
Kind of like,
how's it pronounced?
Wahey, man.
It's just Wahey.
Wahey.
Yeah.
So Cam responded to one of my emails this morning with Wahey, and I'm like, I have no idea what that means.
I would say that was a pleasant greeting.
It was a pleasant greeting. I was expecting a hospitable greeting, but I learned something.
We got reposted. I was happy about it. It was good.
I know. I'm going to use it. I just hope I use it with the right context. That's what you learn in this digital hospitality community. Go ahead, Richard.
No, I'm also the cultural ambassador to the digital hospitality space, and we'll come back to word of the day. I run a consultancy that does branding, coaching, and mentoring under my mantra of "Don't be boring." And I am the self-proclaimed cultural ambassador to the digital hospitality community. Sean, what is the most important pork-based product that you might have in a breakfast?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What is the most important pork-based product you might have on your breakfast?
Bacon.
Okay, and what's the plural of bacon?
Bacon.
We would say, let's have some rashers of bacon.
Rashers.
Rashers.
Rashes sounds like the Great Depression. Like you're rationing something to me. I
No,
want more bacon. I want less.
R-A-S-H, rashers, R-A-S-H-E-R-S.
Okay.
Can I have a rasher of bacon?
A rasher,
Of bacon.
and it's rashes of bacon. But I want a rasher.
Rashers.
How many
can
do
have-
I get? How many do I get in a rasher of bacon?
Well, you get one, but if you pluralize it, you'll get more than one. But
What-
rashers of bacon is word of the day.
Rashers. So on the menu, if I go to a restaurant in London and I order rashers,
Of bacon.
how
You will-
many pieces of bacon do I get?
Oh, at least 2 or 3.
I don't like at least 2 or 3. That's bad for food cost in the restaurant business. I need to know specifics.
Do you know what? I'm going to defer to Scott, who actually runs a restaurant
I will ask Scott if he uses rashers or
of
rashers.
bacon.
of
Well,
bacon
having
on his menu.
my little confession,
What's on
I went to Scott's restaurant on Thursday.
Okay.
Sunday. On Sunday, it was excellent, but there was no bacon on the menu as it was a Chinese American theme. But otherwise, I would have definitely looked into that. And the food was excellent. But no, this YouTube's a great topic. It's a great topic, and I think what's really interesting for me, and it's something that we talk about a lot on here, is both as consumers and creators of content. And I think what's really interesting is I have a YouTube channel, and it is like the land where time forgot, and it's on. And it's quite interesting hearing Cam's story about what I would call Auntie Rosie, and it was almost like we'll put some videos up and see if something happens. I think I put some videos up, but without the attention they deserved. And I think what Cameron, has been very modest, that they built that channel up over a time with a huge amount of work, but also with a huge quality of content and great storytelling. And I think sometimes we're very quick to look at technology, and we actually sometimes ignore the content perspective. So my job over the weekend is to look at my YouTube channel and go, yes, I know I need to do better content, but I also probably need a little bit of better technology. So I might have to tap Cam up.
Well, I appreciate that. And Stover or Mike, if you want to bring anybody else up on stage, we're welcome to have a conversation about YouTube in 2025. I can share a quick story about what we've... No one yet? Perfect. So best place to find the links to the stage would be our Cali BBQ Media LinkedIn page. You can find a link to join us on stage to ask a question if you're curious about YouTube, if you were ready to launch your YouTube channel, or maybe you have a YouTube channel that needs to be improved and you're looking for a consistent way to, if you're already doing videos, which we've been doing video podcasting since episode 50 of our original show, which is now Digital Hospitality. We've done hundreds of shows. We have another show called Restaurant Influencers, but making the video podcast specifically for YouTube, we are doing a lot of things internally to improve the ability to get new eyeballs onto the content. So how we do our short form clips, our entire team is thinking of a clip within a clip. So a short form video, YouTube Shorts, has to be less than 60 seconds. Typically, when we do a digital hospitality podcast or a restaurant influencers podcast, our producing team will review the interview that I did and take the 3 best takeaways. So the 3 highlights. If you don't have time to watch the 25-minute interview or 45-minute interview, we take the 3 best. But from those 3 best, that's where we get our social clips that we use for Instagram Reels, that we use for TikTok, that we use for Facebook. We use also for YouTube. But now we're going to make a very conscious effort in those videos. The lesson is great, but what's more important than the lesson is the first 3 seconds. The first 3 seconds from that takeaway needs to be a video within the video. We need to be able to hook somebody that they go, this is something that I found on YouTube Shorts. And now our team, Cam, is linking the long form content. So on YouTube, you can watch a short with me interviewing Shaquille O'Neal and Shaquille talking about Big Chicken. And if you want to watch more, we're going to be linking that to longer form content. That is a great strategy. I actually just heard about it recently, listening more on podcasts about how to grow YouTube. But I heard Dave Ramsey's head of media talking about how they grew and how they get over hundreds of millions of views on YouTube. So, Richard, do you have any YouTube questions for Cam?
Well, I was just going to say, it was interesting hearing you talk about that first 3 seconds, because I think I've seen that happen a lot in Instagram where, you know, it's almost that coming up and then it's repeated. And I think what's really interesting is, Cam, I still watch a little bit of TV and they'll always show you what's coming up in the episode. And it really irritates me because actually I want it as a surprise. You know, it's sort of like knowing the scores before you've watched the game. It's like, what's the point? But I think when you look scrolling through content, I think it's really, really relevant.
Yeah.
And I guess one of the questions I've got for Cam is, you know, what can I learn from the videos that I've been doing that are often sort of 60 seconds or so? Do you think I need to go long form, or do you think I need to, you know, try and make the first 3 seconds of my video, like Sean said, a little bit more impactful? And how do you think YouTube can benefit me from a B2B perspective?
So first of all, I would say that you are going to want to try pretty much everything in terms of, if you haven't got any traction yet, I would try a number of different styles to see if any of them gain traction. Also, if you enjoy making the content, there's like it's like two Venn diagrams, really. It's like the
Can you
content that
speak
people
up?
want to
Can you
watch.
speak up, Kim? We're having trouble hearing you. Just yell.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
We can hear you better. Go ahead.
All right. So you have like two Venn diagrams. You have the content that people want to watch and the content that you want to make. Can I get that? There we go. And you want to try and find that middle bit that crosses over both of them, because I don't think you want to be stuck making content that you don't like making, and I don't think you want to be stuck putting content out there that no one cares about. So it's kind of like trying to find that middle of the Venn diagram. And so put yourself in a position of curiosity and you know, data. You're hunting for data, and just take the pressure off in the early stages, and just go hunting for what gets traction. Go hunting for what people actually want to watch, and then you just double down. I think it's a really easy game of like following. I know people don't like data and numbers too much sometimes in this stuff. Like, it's not all about that, but YouTube does just kind of show you what people want. Like, it gives you very obvious hints as to what people want from you. And so it's about trying all of those things. Sean and I are big fans of like cold opens and stuff, and these 3 second things. Though we like
Explain the cold open for those that don't know.
So if we have an interview, we'll want to take a few of the juiciest bits and stick it right at the beginning, but not enough that it gives it away, kind of like a trailer. So you'd have like bang, 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 3 really juicy segments, and they're only about, I'd say, like 5 seconds each, roughly.
Yep.
And that gets a bit of a hook, especially for a long form interview where Sean will be it's almost like preamble for like the first minute and a half, 2 minutes, just getting to know the guest and introducing each other. So you don't actually, with an interview, it's actually harder to hook attention. So you use the cold open instead, and have a bit of the juiciest action from the interview immediately, so that people have, and then will keep watching, so they get to that segment and find out what the rest of that quote was as well. So that's why the cold open is so successful, and you'll see it across like basically any interview podcast will have, you know, that little cold open section these days.
Yeah. So if you're watching us, please use that link on LinkedIn. We'd love to have more voices up here on stage. Like I said, the format has changed since we were on Clubhouse, where we could get, I don't even know how many people you get on stage. You get a lot of people on stage on Clubhouse, because there were lots of really cool features about Clubhouse with social audio, but LinkedIn only allowed us to get 17, but typically every Wednesday, every Friday, we get anywhere from 12 to 15, 17 people up on stage, people down below. So bear with us if you're in the community, if you're in the audience, if you're trying to figure it out. We are all trying to figure it out. And just a reminder, Netflix failed miserably doing the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight. So live streaming, there's lots of things that we're all trying to figure out. But there's one thing I do know is this community is resilient. So please let us know. We'd love to have more people up here on stage. Question for Cam from Laura. What would you recommend for a creator with 300,000 followers on TikTok to get started on YouTube with a minimal time commitment?
I'm guessing TikTok has long form now. So if you are producing long form for TikTok, I would cross post it. But I always say that I mean you will definitely do well on YouTube Shorts with that level of success on TikTok too. So immediately start cross posting everything if you aren't already. But then I would think about trying to do some long form if you just want to give it a go. Sean and I find that we we do it in like half an hour a week. We've actually produced 2 videos in half an hour one time last week. So
Yep.
we're trying to get it down to, because Sean is very busy. Like he's on calls all week, so we have to find time.
I'm on camera all week.
Yeah.
Internal,
So
external. Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to get how do we get this produced really quickly in like, so 30 minutes is all we need to produce one video. Obviously I'm editing, etc. So if you've got people helping you, if you've got assistants who can edit, then you do your on camera in as short amount of time as possible, and then hand it off to your editing team or your publishers. I definitely recommend having publishers and editors if you're very busy. that really does help this move this along. I think I understand time commitment. Like I think it's actually really important to do this efficiently, so you can crank out more and more videos. I just realized every time I see a vid channel that blows up and everyone's like, oh, they're like an overnight sensation, and you look at their video count and they've got like 3,000 videos. It's like, yeah, that was a real overnight sensation.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting for us, number one, because Cali Barbecue Media, we only have 1,400 subscribers on our page, but we have 1,000 videos. So we've been producing content for a long time. We also have 1,000 subscribers on our restaurant page, our Cali Comfort Barbecue restaurant page, or Cali Barbecue Restaurant. We don't have Cali Barbecue, which we're working on, but nonetheless, we have those 2 channels that we're focusing on. The Cali Barbecue one, we're only doing shorts. So to the question, Laura's question about if you're crushing it on TikTok, and given what might happen to TikTok coming up in the future, I would definitely start posting those certainly on YouTube and building specifically for YouTube. But it is an interesting time. I mean, 2025, the fact that I'm here, that I've been talking about online storytelling since we basically opened up our restaurant and realized no one was going to come in and no one gave a shit about us until we started telling our own story. To have waited this long, and I still think we're early. So if you're a business owner, I guarantee you, whatever other competitors you have, if you have a company, if you have a website, go to your website, go to your YouTube page and see what is your company doing. Like when we say we're doing social media, what the fuck does that mean? Does that mean we're posting on Facebook, that we're putting a Canva image on Instagram? Like we have to lean into video. We have to figure out a way to talk about the things that, be the show, not the commercial. We can't no one goes to social media to watch commercials. And yet so many companies, when they start thinking about social media storytelling, they start going, well, let's talk about my product. Let's talk about my service. Like, let's talk about a story, but not just one story, lots of stories, and then figure out which stories resonate with your audience and then do a better job telling that story. One thing I do want to mention for anybody that's watching, I just moved the app YouTube Studio on my mobile phone, since I'm mobile first for everything I do, but it has become my new favorite app, YouTube Studio. The analytics are unbelievable. I've learned so much about our own videos, our short form content, our podcast content, what we're doing on the barbecue side, what we're doing on the media side. And it's a phenomenal app. We have a question about TubeBuddy from Summer. What do you think about the tool TubeBuddy, Cam?
So I do use TubeBuddy. That's the one I've got. The other one is like vidIQ is the other one. They're really well known, I believe now. It just analyzes videos for you, has some AI integration. I think that you can get a bit lost in the analytics sometimes, and always remember that like the first thing to do is make good content. I know that's a really I don't want to troll that out every time, but when it comes to like the analytics, it's more about informing you which direction to go in. But you've got to continue making, the quality, the consistency, and then doing everything you can to promote it. So yeah, those are good tools. They're not the secret to success on it. Like we have, for the longest time, I didn't even do the SEO stuff on Rosie's channel. It never stopped growing. So like it is obviously helpful to max out everything and get every possible share everything, but considering that I only really started doing that optimization about a year ago, it wasn't the biggest impact that had on the channel growth.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. We do most of our views, because most of the views you'll get on YouTube are through browse features and through people YouTube recommending it rather than people searching for anything.
Can you go a little bit deeper on that? Like how discoverability of videos?
Yeah, it's like Most of the channels I've seen, because some channels will just put their analytics out there. It's brilliant. There's like videos all over YouTube of people just sharing their analytics, and it's really
Yep.
helpful. I've done a lot of research in this area, and the majority of it is YouTube's algorithm is so more powered towards its own recommendations. People, either you're clicking in the sidebar, it's suggested videos, or you're just kind of searching around YouTube, and YouTube sends you recommendations. It's like all of them. Like Facebook has moved towards algorithm. They don't do the timeline anymore in by time. It's all based on like what they recommend. So yeah, the algorithm is more powerful than humans actually inputting anything. So you want to be playing more towards having a really clickable video, or having the title, the thumbnail, the first 30 seconds, how good your content is. These things all matter the most typically, versus that kind of back end stuff.
Yeah, the amazing thing for me is that I have Jack Harris, who's watching now, who is my best man. I've known him since second grade. He just texted me and said, "I'm watching you live on YouTube right now." So it's like, when you think about the discoverability of all of these platforms, certain people are on Facebook and they prefer Facebook video, and other people prefer Instagram, and other people prefer being on LinkedIn, and other people prefer, like, what is the digital playground that you care about? And then why are you discriminating the other ones? Like, we're already creating audio, video, words, images. I mean, we take all of our content, we write an article based off of it, because guess what? Some people don't watch video. It's a much smaller percentage, but it's still really important for us to produce professionally written content. And that's why, Stover does the work that he does. And we have some amazing people behind the scenes on our team, Mike and Cam and Gavin. This is an exciting time if you're a business owner that's willing to look stupid. Because in the beginning, you're going to look stupid, and there's not going to be a lot of views, and there's not going to be a lot of podcast downloads. There's not going to be a lot of website visits, but it's the consistent part. Can you talk about episode consistency, Cam, on YouTube?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously it gets better as well. I love that we're talking about consistency, but as you are consistently putting out episodes, it's like 1% improvements every time, which I think has always been beautiful to me to see. Like, we have you guys have Digital Hospitality, which obviously, like, a million times better now than it was when you started, and you gained that like weekly on week, just improving it, like aiming for like 1%, aiming for like little ones, and every now and again you find something that jumps you forward like a year, but most of the time it's just small incremental improvements. And we have a similar thing on with the channel with the gardening stuff, where we've been doing a gardening question and answer series for like I think 4 years now. And like if you watch the first one versus the more recent ones, it's just like miles better. Everything's miles better, and that's what you get from the consistency. It's just, you won't even recognize how much you're improving because you do it every single time. It's like losing weight's the other one, where you don't recognize how much you've lost until you get to like 6 months down the line, or like getting faster at running. It's like just gradual improvements.
Elizabeth, do you have anything you'd like to share for anybody that's watching? And anybody that's watching, please join us. You can use the link to come up on stage. We know we have so many amazing community members. Elizabeth, I'm going to let you share, and then I'm going to let Grandma, because she's in the house. What's up? Now it's a party. Elizabeth,
I know, right?
Elizabeth, go for it.
Well, the first thing I wanted to share is, if anybody is on a desktop and you'd like to join us on stage, there's a white button at the bottom of the video screen that says join the live call-in, or call in live or something. If you click that, you need to answer the 3 questions that it asks you, even the one that says, do you have a question? If you don't have a question, just put something in there, because it's never going to pop up. It's only for the producer to see. And then it'll highlight the button for you to actually be able to join. So if you're having any difficulty on that side, do it. On mobile, if you're trying to join, you need to download the app actually to be able to join us on stage. Is what Mercedes was telling us on the Instagram chat. By the way, if you'd like to join our Instagram chat, just let us know and we'll pull you in over there. I want to go back to Laura's question just really quick about the TikTok audience, etc. I added in the chat here and that there are a couple of websites that you can use to start to migrate some of your content from other platforms onto YouTube. So I use an app, or not an app, but a website on my desktop called Snaptic.app or Snapinsta.app. And they have a mobile version of this, but you have to pay for it if you use their mobile version. If you use the desktop, like online version, then you can do it for free. And what I do is I will grab the link to any Instagram post, photos included, or any Instagram reel, and you can hit the three dots and copy the link to that post, or maybe you hit the airplane and you get the link to it. And same with TikTok, you can grab any of the links to a specific TikTok video, and you can throw it into this app and pull down that video so that you can then re-upload it to as a YouTube short on YouTube. So I wanted to make sure that when Laura, I didn't know if Laura meant how to migrate some content, but if you're trying to migrate audiences, one great way to do that, let's talk LinkedIn for a second. If you have a longer form video that you're posting onto YouTube, get a clip, get the meatiest, juiciest clip, and put that on LinkedIn, and then add the link to the full form video in the comments to say, you know, like if you're giving 3 tips on such and such, let them have 1 tip there and say, if you want the other 2 tips, then click the link to join. Now, I don't necessarily recommend putting it in the caption itself because sometimes it gets buried, but if you put it in the comment section, then it highlights its own version of that. And so as far as trying to get audiences towards YouTube, it's a great way to go. A couple of things I have been playing with, because I'm looking into the YouTube side of things too, and live streaming, etc. One thing I wish that Stover was on stage, because he and I need to have a conversation, because I think about 4 months ago, because I was snooping around on the Cali Barbecue Media YouTube page, and there is a place, if you have a YouTube channel, if you go to your channel, that there's a place for you to actually put posts on your page, so you can have static photos and stuff, but you can have GIFs
Really?
as well.
Seriously?
What?
Oh,
Yes,
breaking news.
I know, but so on Cali Barbecue Media, somebody posted the GIF that I made for you guys
Really?
would be the show, not the commercial, as a post. And then Stover commented on it. So I was wondering if it was Stover that had done
That
it.
was Stover. Yeah, he's.
And then he went around and
You
commented.
can't
on
hear
it.
him, but he says that yes, it was him. And I don't even know.
But
If, I don't know if Cam has access to our Giphy library that you created for us.
Gotcha. Well, anybody can. Giphy.com/Cali Barbecue Media. You have
All one word.
all of the GIFs.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
one
all
word.
And on any social media platform, most of them, if in the GIF search, if you use the @ symbol, the handle, you can type in Cali Barbecue Media and find all the Instagram stickers, TikTok stickers, and in DMs as well on Facebook, Instagram, X.
Nice.
And so you can actually use the Cali Barbecue Media stuff. So, okay, my question really quick for the YouTube side of things is, when I've been looking at the Cali Barbecue Media site, there is a different playlist for the content that is uploaded versus the content that is live. So like when we go to the page, this video that's happening right now is under its own heading. It doesn't actually show up on the main page. And so I just have a question about the visibility side of that. Does it get promoted in the same way as videos that are uploaded? So that's my question. And then you can go on to the brand.
You mean streams? Like
Yeah,
the live stream that
streams.
we're doing
Yep.
right now. Yeah, it's a bit segregated at the moment on YouTube with streams versus like videos that are posted. So what a lot of creators do is they download the VOD of their streams, they edit them, and they repost them as videos. That's typically the main thing that most people do. But yeah, no, the live streams, I actually don't know if they promote live streams in like that much, like at all. Yeah, you kind of have to know the creator and go have a look at their live feed a lot of the time if you want to see these things, which is interesting.
Great information. Brahma, Phyllis,
What's
William
going on,
Strotter
Reggie?
in the house, in the
What's
Brahma's
shaking?
house. Can you take 60 seconds and introduce yourself to our community already knows you, but like I said, discoverability, new people find content all the time. So who are you? What do you believe in, Phyllis?
Oh, shit. Short version. I am Phyllis Williams Strotter, known as the Ghetto Country Grandmother. As you can see, folks call me Grandma. I'm all about the interdependence of personal and business branding. I'm learning how to do that because I've been doing it all along, but I haven't been talking about it right. But there's an interdependence between personal brand and business brand. And so I'm like, the rebellion always starts at the top. So we got to start with the personal brand. So that's me in a nutshell. Ask me some more questions, but I'm not going to turn this into a branding conversation because I could so do that.
Let's talk about YouTube. What is Phil?
Let's talk about
Phil
YouTube. I just had
let's-
to help Neil do a video today. I had to sit behind the camera.
so
'cause,
Neil's your husband.
Neil is my husband. That's Big Mister.
Big Mister. Booyah. I'm a
So,
big
like,
Mister
I
fan.
can look at this green dot. Y'all don't have to be sitting here. I look at this green dot and I can talk all damn day. Give me something and I'm just going. Neil looks at the green dot and he's like, baby, what do I talk about? So I have to sit behind the camera. So he's looking at me and talking to me and getting some expression back so that he can create his videos. And we've been working since May on his brand to get his YouTube watch time up because we want to monetize his YouTube. And the thing that I realized is that that whole 365-day thing, I'm telling y'all, going viral on YouTube is great. But if it doesn't get you past that mark and eventually it falls off, you think that you just been creating crap content all along because you have these huge spikes and then you have your steady stuff. And to get to that 4,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 benchmark to get monetized, it's like, man, you talk about a roller coaster ride. That shit is not fun. I'm like, man, it's like, fuck. Because there's so many peaks and high points in there of certain things that people like when he does it. But it's like you said, it goes back to the consistency. But YouTube is a bitch right now.
It is its own playground, and it
Yeah.
needs to be respected. And I think it's just so interesting to think about video from a social media standpoint of how many platforms are pushing video. I mean, YouTube's the OG. LinkedIn's been there forever. And, from a business standpoint, we always talk about the business creator economy, business owners understanding, like, especially in the restaurant space, I don't need to just post videos about the ribs and the brisket. Like, if I post a video about the technology like Toast that's coming into our restaurant, there are other restaurant owners on all these platforms that are looking for that type of content, myself included. So if I make content that me as a business owner would want to watch, maybe there's other crazy people all over the globe that maybe would also want to watch it too. And when you think about YouTube, especially when I talk to marketers of brands, sometimes a brand, when they have 30 employees, they start to hire their marketer, build out a marketing team. When I talk to marketers, and I've been doing it a lot recently, talking about, hey, Cali Barbecue Media, we're focusing on YouTube. If you need help with YouTube, every marketer, their heart drops into their stomach because they know how important YouTube is, but we know that we can't do it by ourselves. Like, if you want to launch a successful channel, you can do it, but like the amount of moving pieces of like, how do I get the founder? How do I get the CEO on? How do I I can't even schedule time to get them into a meeting, let alone a production meeting like Cam and I do for a half an hour. But if you make a commitment to it, it's so much better than all the other bullshit that people are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know this, the commercials that we see and the things that the expense that people spend to go to conferences to hopefully get in front of, target business owners in the B2B space. Richard, can you talk a little bit about the B2B storytelling?
Yeah, I just want to add on to that. Google bought YouTube, and Google bought YouTube for a reason, because it's the second most biggest search console.
Yeah.
It's number one, Google. Number two was YouTube. I wouldn't be surprised if ChatGPT challenges both of them, and there's a reason for it. And we talk about my mantra of don't be boring. What happens if we watch a boring video on YouTube? Next. So what do you think our consumers do? I think what's really interesting is I think there's so much we can learn. And I get you and I were talking about this, Sean, before. Everybody gets confused about B2B and B2C. And there's like this big kind of, you can only do this in B2C. Bullshit. It's just storytelling. And YouTube's a way of delivering it. And I think what's really interesting is we put these barriers up and go, well, we're business to business. So let's say you're an IT company or a media company. Oh, I can't be on YouTube. That's B2C. Why?
Yeah.
Nobody cares. And I think there's that little bit where if your story's good enough and it's interesting, then people will find it. And I just think there's a little bit where people's mindset, those traditional marketing directors of the very large businesses will look at traditional media, we're going to do TV, radio, or we'll do outdoor. And then they've kind of advanced out of press and into doing Google ads, etc., etc. But yet there's this huge channel that's available for free. The challenge is, how can you make content that's compelling and interesting? And I think what's really amazing is, like I said, with Cam's story about the evolution of that channel and seeing what Callie are doing, you know, it's possible to do this. This whole B2B storytelling, you know, it doesn't really matter about how it's delivered. The content needs to be interesting. If it's interesting, people will find it. And I just think we need to change a mindset. And I think to the marketing directors of those big organizations out there, you know, why do B2C companies hire influencers? Why do they put content out on YouTube? Like, because it works. It's the second biggest search engine. And I think there needs to be a little bit of a mindset and mentality shift, because it's a great platform. And I know it's one that I underuse. So I need to drink my own Kool-Aid, to use the American expression.
Is it an American expression, or did we steal it from you?
We don't have Kool-Aid in the UK. We just have like Baileys and Baileys, whiskey, tea. I'm just trying to blend in with the locals here.
You blend in with the locals. Well, Cam's part of the family.
I've never drunk Kool-Aid. I don't even know really what it is. I just know the name of Kool-Aid. I don't know. It's like powder, right? That you mix with lemonade or something.
Powder. Phyllis, what is Kool-Aid?
Which one? Red Kool-Aid or purple Kool-Aid? Because they don't come in flavors; they come in colors.
What's red Kool-Aid?
Red Kool-Aid is usually cherry or strawberry.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, whenever you.
When was the last
most
time you had
people will
Kool-Aid?
The last time I had Kool-Aid, probably the last time. Have you ever had a Koolical? And I know
A
you should
Koolical?
have in a barbecue. Yes.
No.
Shut up.
What's a
You make a
Koolical?
big thing of Kool-Aid. You don't put sugar in this one, but you make a big thing of Kool-Aid and you let your pickle sit in it. Especially if there's red Kool-Aid. And oh my goodness, the flavor of the Kool-Aid inside the pickle, oh, it's life-changing.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. That's some amazing stuff. But let me
No,
see.
it's Stover. Stover
What's
bringing in
Stover's name?
Jonestown. Jeez, he's the one putting these comments on the bottom. Bringing in, don't drink
I didn't
the
want to bring
Kool-Aid.
it up because
Don't drink
that's
the
the only
Kool-Aid.
way I
Don't
know
drink
about
the
it.
Kool-Aid.
But no.
Haley's
That's the
comment.
only way I knew
Haley's
what it
comment.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kool-Aid
Bebops.
is at the cookout. That's what it is.
Well,
Exactly.
if you
if you ever go if you go somebody's house and they're making Kool-Aid, just know it should be red Kool-Aid. Don't ask what flavor. Say what kind of Kool-Aid we drinking. It's gonna be red Kool-Aid. That's all
Well,
you need to know. With
I
a
know
whole lot
Dean-
of sugar.
I know Dean LeBay is watching, and I can't wait to get him up here on stage. So, Dean, if you're watching, please come up on stage. I know you made it last time, but for some reason we couldn't get you. But if you're watching, we got Mercedes. Welcome. Can you take 60 seconds, introduce yourself to the community, and share any question you have about YouTube or any story you have about YouTube?
Of course. Hi, Mercedes, coming at you from sunny San Diego. I'm the Director of Sales and Events for the Wood Group in Pacific Beach, as well as the VP of Programs for HSMAI San Diego chapter. We just had an event earlier this week that was super successful, so super excited about that. But yeah, YouTube is new for me. I still haven't explored it yet. I really want to get my Room for Revenue episodes on there. I think that it would be really valuable on that platform. I'm gonna have to DM Elizabeth later and ask her what she was saying about the link and then having it where you can put it on different platforms, because I'm the worst and I have no storage on my phone, and so I delete everything after it gets posted. It gets deleted. So like I delete apps after I use them. It's so bad. And I just have to re-download them. But super excited to be here, guys. Super excited to see everybody here. And Brandon, haven't seen you in a while. I'm so excited to see you.
No, that's awesome. We appreciate it, Mercedes. And anybody that's watching, we appreciate you. Like you said, every Wednesday, every Friday, we're doing these live calls, live streaming on YouTube, live streaming on LinkedIn. Eventually, we're going to get TikTok hooked up, hopefully before it gets banned in the United States. And then we'll get, I think we're live on Facebook as well. But as many platforms as possible. We want to hear more voices up here on stage. This is a different format from our audio only. This is video. Welcome to 2025. video is important, and the more that we can get uncomfortable and do more video, that's what this community is all about. But we also meet up in real life. So I know we have people from all over the globe that tune in, that watch, that support us, connect with this community on LinkedIn. Especially, we've got a lot of incredible people. They are all weirdly available to talk about whatever you're building and whatever you're supporting. If you have a podcast, we'll support your podcast. If you're creating content, we will support your content. Cam, do you have any other tips that you'd like to share as we wrap up today's call?
Not
high level.
High level. Okay.
High level. Like if I was producing you, like instead of you producing me, I'm gonna go, okay, Cam, we need the hook for the video, and then we need the 4 tips, and we need the call to action, and then we need the close.
I want to see this.
I didn't even prepare him for this.
He's scratching his head like, what the fuck?
He's sweating.
All of a
I
sudden,
believe in
this
you.
connection
I believe
gets
in you,
spotty.
Cam.
From everyone I've chatted to that hasn't really started YouTube, like the number one thing is start. Like I know it's a really easy thing to say, but like, you know, best time to plant a tree was, you know, 50 years ago. Best time is now. Get on camera. I think getting on, like you said, video is here to stay. So get on camera. Every opportunity to get on camera, even if you're just going to record like your thoughts in the morning or whatever. Like obviously, you know, get a camera out, get the iPhone. You can do everything on iPhone. Especially when you're first starting out, no one's going to care too much your iPhones or your audio on the iPhone, your videos on the iPhone. We still use iPhone to record most of what we record on the gardening channel, which is quite a big shock to some people, given that we've been doing pretty well in terms of views. But it's fine. iPhones are really, really high level now when it comes to producing that sort of content, especially outside where they're balancing light levels a little bit better than some cameras can, because you've got to use it properly. And then once you've started getting comfortable on camera, then you start planning your content a little bit better. So you start breaking down, like, what is my introduction? What is like you said, what is your hook point? Can you film the video and at the end film an introduction? So film your video. You got like 7 to 10 minutes. Then you film what the introduction is, which you think is going to get the most attention in that first minute or so that they're watching you. From there, you start working out how your publishing is. You start looking at like how your thumbnails are, what your titles are like. But I would very much focus on the content first. And like we talk about the story first, because at the end of the day, that's what the algorithm picks up on. Is your content good? You will find channels everywhere with the worst titles. They haven't even used thumbnails, but their content is really good. And the algorithm is smart enough to know what people are watching and what people are enjoying and what the watch time is going towards. So always focus on the quality of the content first.
Can you talk about thumbnails? You've been doing, you and Gavin, the entire Cali Barbecue Media team, but specifically since we got you and Gavin on the team, we've made a concerted effort, not only for myself and for our channel, but for our clients as well, making them do a portfolio of different YouTube reaction profile photos. So anybody that's watching this, we challenge you to make a YouTube cover photos. So they're so absurd that you feel weird doing them, but they actually get clicks. Can you explain what I'm talking about, Cam?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's seen like Mr. Beast's channel,
yes,
or whatever, where he's like pointing and he's doing like a weird big that is one of the easiest thumbnails to do ever. I don't know. Stover. Just like, but the point is really good. Like the shock, the like, you know, cover your eyes, like just do a load of funny poses. Like if you've got kids, you know, try and make your kids laugh by doing poses in front of the camera. I know all of Sean's,
good one.
I think your wife took the photos of all the shows you did. Yeah, just get your family members to take photos of you up against like a white wall or something so you can cut it out easily. A lot of the AI is like, you know, pretty good at cutting out the images. You can do it on your phone actually. If you take the picture and hold down, if you have an iPhone, I think it cuts your image out.
It does.
Save that as a cutout, yeah. So it's actually very easy to get these images nowadays, and they are, yeah. It's amazing simple. It's amazingly simple how that is one of the most best performing like thumbnails you can do on YouTube still to this day.
So that's my challenge to the community. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, we want to see your YouTube cover shots. We've already shared some in the LinkedIn group chat, Instagram group chat. We have folders of all of these ridiculous photos, but we probably need an updated photo for LinkedIn and for Instagram and for Facebook anyways. So you might as well make it a YouTube cover photo. That is the challenge. Dean, we can't see you, my friend. I don't know if Stover or Mike and the producer, you can see Dean, but if Dean, we can't see Dean. So we need to get your camera on, Dean. The community will help Dean figure this out.
Yeah. Very quickly, back to the thumbnail thing. I did want to mention that it's great for you to go ahead and create your template version of that, like, and so that you already have your fonts. You got to brand it out, but like especially on Canva, they already have a lot of templates that you can choose from, and then you customize. You just have to drop those photos in that Cam's talking about, and you can use Canva on mobile and on desktop, and it connects between the two. But also there is a free version of Canva that you can still play with, but the pro account is actually fairly inexpensive. And back to Summer's question about scheduling, etc. Most apps have scheduling within them, but Canva also does have a scheduler within it where you can schedule to multiple apps as well as a part of your Canva Pro account. Anyway, I could go on about that stuff too, but back to you.
Also, while we're on thumbnails, Cam, can you talk about the name of the video versus what actually goes on the thumbnail, the text?
Oh, like typically we try and connect the two. So like the title is meant to be connected to the thumbnail, and then I always think that the beginning of the title is important, and then I've always tried to make it so that the first bit of the video, the thumbnail and the title are all kind of connected. But then you can also, if you can use teasing text, does that make sense? Like you want to like not give the full game away in the thumbnail, but you want to try and grab attention at the same time. You don't have to put your whole title in the thumbnail. I think a lot of people, they try and like fit their title in the thumbnail. You don't have to do that. You want to put something a bit shorter, a bit more sweet, and a bit more impactful if possible.
That's great. Yeah, one of the things I heard Mr. Beast talk about was how important it is. Like if you're talking about in this video, we're going to blow up a Lamborghini. Like in the first 3 seconds, they will show quickly that the Lamborghini will blow up. But how it gets blown up is part of the story. It's part of the hook of like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that you were going to do it. But if we're going to say that we're going to blow up a Lamborghini, like we need to actually deliver on that promise. No, Richard says no, don't blow up the Lamborghini.
Richard, that's your thumbnail.
Yeah, I think that is really important, Sean. Like you don't want them to have buyer's remorse for clicking
Yes.
within the first minute. That's important. Or
Yeah.
clicker's remorse, if we can call it that.
Well, let's go ahead and do tip, takeaway, homework assignment. We'll start off with Richard.
Mercedes has just broken me. I was just laughing because I was thinking of doing the Home Alone shock thumbnail. I just want to say I worked with Cam in the summer, and my journey with videos has been one that Elizabeth has pushed and pushed and pushed on me. And it's quite funny because I sent her in a video today apologizing for my crap videos, which I'm going to do as a post in the next couple of weeks. What was really interesting, maybe 3 years ago, Cam came to my house and helped me do a couple of videos. And I think what's really interesting when I look at the content that I've been putting out recently, it's getting better and better. And part of what Cam was saying about just start and get comfortable with being uncomfortable, we say that all the time on this channel, but it's absolutely true. And I think there's something about working with people that are better than you to encourage you, but also having a team of people cheering you on. And that whole idea of producing great content, to quote one of the greatest films ever made, Wayne's World 2, book the bands and they will come.
There you go. Love it, Richard. Elizabeth, tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
Get started, like do it now side of things. I've been looking at this, even for the Riverside F.FM platform that we're using right now, and what it looks like to capture the content in the wild. And then I loved that Cam was able to answer that question of it's still important to repost the video after the fact. And what I loved about Riverside, by the way, they're not paying for me for this. You can edit things within it, and then have that full quality video because it's pulling the streams from all of the locations, making the best quality so that then when you do post it, you're going to get the best video, audio, without any dropping on that side of things. Anyway, so get out there and do it. I think that's the main message that I got.
Awesome. Grandma, Phyllis.
Oh, my takeaway is I'm going to get back to my YouTube channel. I've neglected it for months now, so I think I got to get back. I actually lost the follower because I wasn't doing. No, I don't know if that's why, but anyway.
We didn't want them anyways, Phyllis.
I didn't want them anyway, but no, seriously, I need to get back to my YouTube channel. And I think it was Richard that said earlier, it is a big search engine, and people don't recognize that. So you have to also make sure your SEO game is on point when you write your description. So, yeah.
Awesome. Mercedes, you got it. Mercedes, tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
I gotta think of funny thumbnails. Oh, I don't know what my thumbnails will be for Room for Revenue, but I gotta figure that one out. So that's gonna be exciting.
Awesome. And for anybody that's watching, my tip, takeaway, homework assignment is YouTube Studio. Download it for your phone. If you have a YouTube channel, it is a wealth of information. It will give you AI recommendations on other videos. It will tell you watch time. It'll tell you so many different incredible things, give you weekly stats, great analytics to help you do better on YouTube. And I think the biggest takeaway is what Cam said, and that's reminds me of the Arthur Ashe quote, which is do what you can with where you are, with what you have. Start today. Start today. You don't need fancy cameras. You don't need producers. You have everything that you need. YouTube's free. You can start an account. You can post a video, but the answer to quality is always going to be quantity plus speed plus consistency will eventually equal. Quality is never coming first. So if you want to get on YouTube and make a great video, I'll just get it. I'll answer the question to the test. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You might be an outlier. You might get a video with great views, but like the whole point is it's a journey, and making a commitment now in 2025 and beyond, YouTube isn't going anywhere. So I think all of us in the business space, in the personal space, we have something to say, and no one's going to say it better than you can. So we appreciate you guys for watching. If you're listening to this, thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Cali BBQ Media. If you have an idea for videos, we would love to hear that idea. If you want to collaborate on videos, we do videos in the wild, not just studio videos. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Richard, Cam, you did phenomenal. No prep. I think I texted him last night and said, hey, come on and do a YouTube masterclass. And I knew you would crush it. So thank you.
Do you want the truth?
I want the truth. I always want the truth.
Someone here may have spoiled that you were going to invite me on. So
who did?
I'm not going to tell you who may have spoiled this, but there was a spoiler.
Oh, there was a spoiler.
So I didn't know that there was an invite coming.
Oh, Richard, he told you?
I'm not saying anything. I don't dob anyone. I'm not going to give it big grass or dob anyone in.
Well,
so
I say a lot of things, and I'm just wondering who's listening. So I guess that's good news for me, is that someone's listening. Because I talked to Jason Berkowitz and Troy Hooper that we were switching from LinkedIn audio to LinkedIn video, and both of them text me and they're like, I had no idea this was happening. I'm like, what? Do you guys come to the same show that we do every single week on Wednesday and Friday? Like, LinkedIn doesn't have audio anymore. It's all video. So welcome to the video world. Thank you, Stover. Thank you, Mike, behind the scenes. We appreciate you. And everybody else, thank you. We're grateful. Code word? What's the code word? The code word?
Russia.
Oh. Well, the code words is what we say on every show, which is stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you guys next show. Boom. There you go. Now you're done.